Alright, what's going on everybody? My name is Matt and welcome back to the channel today, and I'm bringing you guys 6 very important secrets you guys didn't know about in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's right, a lot of things I think people are sort of unaware of, since this game really is remarkable in a way, and the fact that there is so much content available here. Modern Warfare has a lot more content to me than many other previous games, including more maps, more guns, more modes, and generally just a lot of things to explore, to look at. So in today's video, I wanted to show you guys 6 things I think will genuinely benefit your experience on this game without necessarily knowing them in the past, or even a lot of these things being widely reported. Some of this stuff I literally just had to sit down and figure out myself. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys do, definitely drop a like and drop a follow on my Mixer down below, guys. I've been streaming over there every single day. It is a fantastic place for me, of course, to talk and interact with you guys. So definitely go drop a follow over there for daily live streams. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about in today's video is the crazy, the absolutely absurd headshot multiplier available to you in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, because a lot of COD games in the past have sort of had a good variety on this. Some games are extremely good for headshots, other games not so much. Now, Modern Warfare here is a game that to me is absolutely imperative to aim for the head, especially in core modes, because in hardcore it's not as much of a deal, because of course you die a lot quicker, and again, it's always good, but in core modes, especially when every single bullet counts, one of the biggest things you guys should be doing is always aiming for the head, or at least knowing your weapon's trajectory to aim for the head. That to me is the biggest thing that I think you guys should be focusing on in those core modes, because you guys can see in the gameplay in the background here, and I'll have a lot of different clips for you guys, of course, shown on the channel, and you know, you guys can see it in any video, pick any video of mine really, of me using either a best class or anything like that. Whenever my gun remotely gets close to someone's head, they die in half the time. I don't know the exact statistic on it, nor do I really think it's that important, but you guys do need to know is that, of course, there is a crazy, almost unprecedented headshot multiplier available in this game. I think the only other game, to me at least, that remotely resembles a headshot multiplier as high as this would maybe be Modern Warfare 3. Perhaps Black Ops, not even Black Ops. I think Modern Warfare 3 is the only game which could possibly come close to this. But really nothing does. This game has a ridiculous headshot multiplier. I think it's definitely, you guys, you know, something should really focus on, of course, to generally improve your gameplay and kill people a lot faster. Number 2, the next thing I wanted to go into is motion blur in this game, because motion blur is one of the worst things you guys may be experiencing in your settings without even knowing it. Now, here's the issue with motion blur for me. It generally obscures my game in so many instances and adds so much unnecessary kind of mental clutter on my screen that I really just don't need. Now, that type of mental clutter to me really kind of does harm my gameplay. It harms my aim, it harms my ability to focus on other important things like where enemies are, where flags are, things like that, and gets me so distracted in this world I'm sort of in. And again, it's always good to be immersed, but man, I don't ever endorse using motion blur in a multiplayer game, especially as motion blur in this game just feels like an absolute mess. And it's funny because on launch, you know, I was playing this game for a while and I said, man, it just doesn't feel good. Why am I getting destroyed every game? And then I realized that I had my motion blur settings like all the way through the top, and I was like, man, this is terrible, because we actually have 2. We have the world motion blur and the weapon motion blur. Now, obviously, the world motion blur I think is even worse, which is generally just the blurring of moving objects, and the weapon motion blur is the added blur to the weapon. So all around, man, just an absolutely terrible setting you guys do not want to have on. Now, the next thing I think is really interesting, I never heard anybody mention this until I told it to a couple of my friends, I think about a week ago, but this was definitely something that really surprised me, and for the good, man, because this setting is absolutely wonderful and really will get you guys in the feels. So there's actually a setting in this game which allows you to get a sort of OG kind of hit marker sound. Now, this is none of the audio settings you guys can see on screen there. You could do either none, which you'd have to be some type of weirdo to have no hit marker sounds, or Modern Warfare, which is the quote-unquote modernized Modern Warfare hit marker sounds, or the classic one, which is described as old school Modern Warfare hit marker sound effects. And let me tell you, man, this feels like something right out of Modern Warfare 2. It is absolutely beautiful. I've been listening to these ever since launch, literally a few hours after I changed these immediately, because it really does get you in that nostalgic feel. And I know it may sound like a very small, minute detail, but I'm telling you, man, it does feel really good to have this on in game. I think the MW one is a little bit less punchy. I think it's more more, I guess, realistic in a sense to the competitive, shooter market, the competitive shooter genre. But I don't really care, man. I want those loud, obnoxious hit markers like I've always loved, so the enemies know when I'm hitting them. You know what I mean? It's kind of just a good feeling. And generally, I think that this is a setting you guys should really have. So definitely go and turn on the classic hit marker sound effects. Next thing that I'm getting into is the clan tags in this game. Funny enough, this is the only Call of Duty in history since 2007, COD 4, the original Modern Warfare, when clan tags were invented to have 5-letter clan tags. It's the first time we've ever seen that. I think it's really interesting. It gives you guys, of course, a wide array of creativity of some, some inappropriate and some very creative words you guys can throw in your clan tag there. I always throw follow in there, FOLOW, of course. I can't do the double L, but I always throw follow. So whatever social media I'm advertising in my Modern Warfare name, currently it's my TikTok, I'll have that in there, so people hopefully will see that. And I actually got some people on my TikTok from that, which is pretty funny. So definitely 5-letter clan tags is cool. I'm not sure if in the professional, the scrimming, COD community, whether or not those, 5-letter clan tags are really accepted, or if they still stick to 4, like in previous skins. I don't really know, but I thought it was just a nice, small little feature that you guys definitely could learn from a little bit. So another thing is that you guys need to take advantage of the fast sprint in this game. It's something that I am constantly forgetting about, and it's kind of a shame because I really think that if you're not using this, you're definitely putting yourself at a disadvantage, because having some type of fast, quick sprinting in this game really is helpful. So what you guys need to do, of course, is just on your left stick, the normal stick that you're using for running, you guys are going to have to click that thing twice. You're going to have to double click it as you're running, and you'll actually engage that sort of ultra fast kind of sprint. It doesn't last very long. I'd say about maybe 6 to 8 seconds, somewhere in there. It's definitely not a very long-lasting thing. It takes a little bit to recharge, but it definitely is a nice sort of short burst of speed, and will definitely help you getting better mobility in certain areas across the map. I really do think that's a good idea, especially in like free-for-all. I noticed that I was getting my ass kicked in free-for-all for a while, and I sat there and thought about it. I was like, man, what am I doing here? What am I constantly doing wrong? And I realized that by not sprinting fast like that, a lot of people are definitely getting the sort of edge on me in gunfights. Now, speaking of free-for-all, I don't know why I decided to do this, but I feel like I'll throw in one bonus little thing that kind of came to my mind, because this really just kind of stuck to me, and I figured before I finish this video, let me add a little thing. Let me add something. I'll add a 7th secret you guys may not be thinking about in Modern Warfare. The next thing that I want to talk about, the last thing, but it really did kind of spike my interest a minute ago, and I thought I'd add it for you guys, is the riot shield. Because the riot shield in this game is a ridiculously viable secondary. I know a lot of people aren't thinking about it because the riot shield generally isn't something that you see used frequently in COD, especially again by good players. But in Modern Warfare, there's something very interesting about the riot shield, because this is unlocked through the perk 1 overkill. Now, back in something like Black Ops 2, you had to use a wild card and stuff, and it was a pain in the ass. It took up a class slot. It really wasn't worth using. It took up too much of your class, and I didn't feel that overkill was worth it. But in this game, man, especially considering the frequency, the ridiculously high frequency of times you get shot in the back, my God, man, every class I have now has a riot shield on it. So all you guys have to do is go to your perk 1 slot and add overkill and throw on the riot shield, man, as your secondary. Not even to use it. I don't even use it. The only thing I do for this is to have it to cover my back, because the way the windows work in this game, everybody camps relentlessly 24/7 in this game. It's very, very annoying, but the only way I can really think of in order to fix this is to have some type of riot shield on my back at all times. And I'm telling you guys, it has allowed me to survive much longer in my normal gunfights than it did before. It really is absolutely incredible. I'm telling you guys, you don't think it's important now until you realize exactly how effective that really is. So definitely, of course, do have that riot shield as your secondary there. Again, free-for-all especially. Free-for-all is the biggest mode where I find that to be very helpful. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. This is just 7 things that I thought were really, really important for you guys to know in Modern Warfare. Some things I really haven't seen a lot of other YouTubers mentioning, really, because, again, this game has such a wide array of customization. It's really one of the reasons why I love it. Of course, with the ability, I could sit here all day doing videos about the creative class, about the kill streaks, about the field upgrades. There's so much stuff to talk about. So, of course, if you guys do like these type of videos, definitely go ahead and let me know down below in the comments and drop a like on the video. And I'll definitely do stuff like this in the near future, of course, man. But my God, Modern Warfare really is a game that has really stuck with me recently. I know a lot of people have been complaining about it, but it's got my interest. It really does. You know, I have over a day played on it at the moment. I'm level 90, and it's really, again, I feel like has caught everybody off guard in more ways than one, really. Some people definitely love it, some people hate it. You know, it's got some balancing issues, some mega problems with the shotguns and yada yada. It's got all those things, the snipers and things, but in the end, man, it's got stuff that I enjoy using. It's got guns I enjoy using. It has kill streaks I enjoy using. And in turn, I enjoy making videos for you guys on it. That's why I've been double uploading every day. That's why I've been doing all this stuff. Because to me, genuinely, Modern Warfare is just a really enjoyable game for me to do stuff with. And again, I just wanted to thank you guys for 3,000 subs on the channel because it's just absolutely amazing. And we're on the road to 3,100. We're getting there, man. So with that being said, everybody, thanks for watching the video. I've rambled on long enough. If you guys enjoy, definitely let me know down below in the comments your thoughts and everything. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.